Hello everybody, welcome back to Zero Tolerance TV, ZT here, and we've got a rematch here in the tiebreakers. This is going to be Zeus versus Kingdom. Kingdom versus Zeus, as Scan would say. So another PvP, but honestly the last one wasn't that bad. Like, of all of Kingdom's games, I'd say it was easily his best played. He did beat Boxer with a pretty sneaky shuttle drop on Paradox. So, I guess we can call that. But this is kind of like a straight-up PvP type of game that he played against Zeus. I believe we're on the same map again. We were in Sin Game of Going last time. And I think that's what map this is. Pretty sure. The video is labeled incorrectly. It's actually labeled as Kingdom vs. Boxer on Paradox, which, well, that was the last game in the series. So, those two were switched. Oh man, I don't know what that says. Map name, question mark. I'm pretty sure this is Sin Gamma going. This is the one with like the raised, with the high ground behind the third base. So red is Kingdom, and over here as the blue Protoss, this is Zeus. So I'm interested to see. Would like to see Kingdom make a Nexus. Still haven't really seen that. But he's kind of making it work a little bit. I mean, he did beat Boxer, so that's pretty good. I do think that map is quite Protoss favored, though, if I had to guess. Not just because of the threat of carriers, but dropping Goliaths, which seems to be a pretty... well, that's basically the thing that Terran does on that map. Is just not good. 4 Goliaths in a dropship is pretty anemic, so it's kind of tough to really get a lot going there, I think. But Boxer is Boxer, so he has made it work on that map for sure. But we'll see what happens here. Yeah, this is Sin Gamma going. It's got the double ramps. I'm pretty sure that's one of the double ramps. There's like 4 maps in this pool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one it is. That's what we're going with. If I'm wrong, then I guess I'm wrong. I can deal with that. It's been a few days since I last actually did a cast, so I'm trying to think what were the other pool or maps in the pool. I cannot remember. Quick shot of the crowd there. What's up, everybody? Not at that big outdoor venue anymore, which I thought, I kind of just assumed all the round 8 would be out there, but no. No, it was not. Not, maybe because of tiebreakers? We're on a different day or something? I don't know. Anyway, we do have cross positions here, which is, I've said a few times, kind of rare in this tournament, but we seem to be seeing it more towards, after the group stages, so that's kind of cool. Do like to see cross positions as well. Can't always be close. Interesting pylon location there. And what? Kingdom is trying to mana pylon here? Wait, is he cannon rushing? I'm confused. Is that a pylon? Did Zeus make that pylon? Because I assumed it was a mana pylon at first, but then I looked at it, it's like, well, the probe just walks around it, so it can't be a mana pylon. He's not blocking any of the probes in there. Yeah, that is Zeus's pylon. Okay, everything makes sense now. It just popped up right as Kingdom's probe walked up to that location now. Zeus actually pulling a couple probes off to attack Kingdom's probe here. Kingdom's first Zealot is walking across the map, but it's going to meet a Zealot and a probe on the ramp, so it will not be able to fight this. I guess Kingdom could try to use his probe to even these odds, but I don't think it's going to work since Zeus already has probes attacking it, so looks like Kingdom's aggression isn't going to work out here. That said, not much committed, just an early Zealot. Second gate making. Oh man, I made the noob mistake. I don't have water. I only have coffee. So silly. I only have hot coffee, and you know, you can't just drink a ton of hot coffee in the middle of a cast. That doesn't work. It can burn your throat. That's like the opposite effect of what I'm looking for. Whatever. Just have to go slow with it. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. So their zealot is going home. It looks like. Yeah. I mean, he's not gonna get anything done here, so why not? Would you? I think Kingdom's Gateway was a little bit earlier than Zeus's. Looks like his units are just popping slightly earlier. So I guess Zeus actually does have a slight economic lead here, just based on the timing of his buildings. Probably Kingdom had to cut a probe to get the earlier timing, so seems like he did want a little bit of damage done with his early zealot, which is kind of fitting in with his style. And not really getting there. The cross position's definitely hurting him more than Zeus here. Seems like Zeus was quite fine just playing the sort of patient opening. Neither player really revealing their tech yet. Interested to see if either of them goes DTs. I think you would have your Citadel already if you were going to go DTs, though. So, yeah, they're getting range. I think they might actually expand. It's looking like the kind of game that could lead to an expansion. Neither player really teching yet. They are both in gas. Okay, robotics facility for Zeus, but that definitely doesn't mean you can't expand. This could be 2-gate obs into an expansion, something like that. Even 3-gate obs into an expansion is pretty doable at this point. The expansion timings nowadays are a lot less forgiving than they were in 2003. So, okay, yeah, and here we go. Kingdom is making a Nexus. So he is... There we go! He's done it! Kingdom has made a Nexus. I'm so proud of you. I think this is the first time I've seen him make a Nexus. Wow. He's all grown up. He's all grown up. He's going to go for a macro play and a PvP. I'm proud of you, Zeus. Or Kingdom. I already knew Zeus could macro. He's done that a few times. So, going to be perhaps a longer PvP. And yeah, Zeus is just making his own Nexus. So a little bit later than Kingdom's, but it's perfectly workable. This is not like... you know, if Kingdom's like making probes before Zeus builds his Nexus, then it gets kind of tough, but this is perfectly playable, especially considering Kingdom did, I think, cut that probe early, so likely that really he'll just make up the disadvantage that he has with this earlier Nexus. Might get like one extra probe out, so again, I mean, one probe is not a huge difference, though. Both players in observers here. Yeah, this looks like a nice macro game is what we're getting into here. So I'm kind of excited. Looks like Kingdom actually early transferred some probes. Saw them running back into his main with minerals. So it just finished now. And yeah, this Nexus is like about to finish. So really not a big difference. There we go. Kingdom throwing a probe away. Just trying to even it up. Just wanted to get that scout off before observers. Yeah, actually I think that was kind of a waste. Just because he's got an observatory already. And really, like at this point, you either have to run back into your main if they attack you, or you don't. And it's not like you can do anything about it. He can't get a reroute in time or anything like that. Now, actually Kingdom did sneak a probe in there. So, pretty nice scouting from him, actually. Some sneaky probes. Zeus's observers scouts those dragoons moving across the map, so he should be ready. Really at this sort of number, if Zeus's dragoons are in a better position than Kingdom's, he'll win the fight. Maybe he's down by 1, but like a good arc will definitely make up for 1 dragoon. But here we go, both players are mining from their naturals. No upgrade started, that forge was not spinning. It is important if you're going to go into a long game. This is more important in StarCraft 2, but still important in PvP to get those upgrades rolling. The attack upgrade is really good. We do have an engagement here. A couple zealots already been picked off, and Dragoon's starting to die on each side, but it is actually a little bit better numbers for Kingdom, I think, but there we go. 2 Dragoons rally up for Zeus, so now I think those are going to be enough to turn this fight, and Zeus should win. Kingdom agrees, he starts pulling goons back, but ultimately a pretty even trade. No huge winner there. Both players lost all their zealots and some goons. Maybe a bit of an overchase there. Kingdom actually has a pretty nice spread here, but yeah, actually some Zeus tried to target down a couple goons, but didn't really work out. That arc Kingdom had was definitely an advantage for him, so Zeus has to pull back after. I guess at the end of the day, that was probably a little bit better for Kingdom. Right up until that overchase, I just said it was pretty even, excuse me, but yeah. Definitely don't want to overchase and do a nice goon arc. That is very scary. I thought maybe with the targeting it would work out, but no. A couple more gateways added on here for Zeus. He's going to be up to 5, it looks like. 6, actually. And his forge has started now as well. Wouldn't mind a shot to see. This is when the production tab is nice. Just to see if Kingdom is actually starting his upgrades or not. He does have a pretty solid goon lead here, it looks like, so he might not even need it. His plan might just be pump goons and win. And I can't say I blame him for it. Another gateway finishing up there. He is up to, I believe, 6. And the upgrades are started here. So actually, I really like Kingdom's spot in this game. I think he's just got a good lead. And looks like he's taking a page out of Malra's book. On this map here, he did cannon up the mid with cannons, duh. And I can't remember who he's playing against. He might have actually been playing against Kingdom in that game. Yeah, it worked. He put like a ton of cannons in the middle there. And they actually kind of cover all the exits from the base, so this is... It seems silly when you look at it, because usually like forward cannons just don't work out unless you're cannon rushing, but it actually kind of works on this map. One Zealot, excuse me, walking up and scouting that. Looks like legs are done here for Zeus. So that is a nice little advantage. Once you have legs, Zealots are actually pretty damn good against Dragoons. If they can't run away, it is very tough for them to kill. Now, ooh, he did pick off that Observer. Nicely done there by Kingdom. Saw the obs waiting over top. I think there's another one there, though, so he's not without detection. And really, the detection isn't that important here. There's no DTs, so it's not like he's going to die. Actually, the player who can make DTs right now is Zeus, so... If anyone needs to be worried about losing their observers, it's definitely Kingdom right now. Of course, losing an observer for free is never fun, but I don't think it's going to be too game-changing. This is a little bit ambitious here, this cannon. Definitely going to get... I think I actually got killed. And now Kingdom is coming in for the engagement. Zeus's Helots are in hold position, so they didn't actually run up quickly enough, but now they are on top of those Dragoons, and he has a huge Zealot advantage, but with those cannons, I don't think he can push in here. That said, Kingdom's Zealots are kind of bleeding out here and getting killed. I say that as Zeus's Zealots run in. Kind of silly-like. Running back in now. Quite the micro fight here. And this is the disadvantage of Zealots, especially when there's something like a cannon line. That range definitely matters. With speed, they're a lot more microable, but it's not like they're going to be able to teleport on top of goons. Now, this DT runs into the cannons. That was sad. I am sad for that DT. Who's going to tell that DT's parents why it died? I mean, come on. That was just terrible. Zeus now actually getting pushed away from the exit of his base here, so this is getting kind of scary for him. I said he's got a cheeky angle. Is there a DT? There are some DTs making their way across the map, though, so that's actually kind of scary. 2 DTs. I think they can probably take down 1 cannon. Cannons are actually pretty squishy. And we see Zeus... I keep saying that. Yeah, actually Zeus. That's the right name. Zeus's army jumping onto those Dragoons there, getting a couple. And his DTs are now in the main, but there is a cannon, and he did not fight it, so... Looks like he will not be able to get into those probe bombs. I'm not sure if 2 DTs beat a cannon. I do know that 2 DTs don't beat 4 Zealots when there is an observer, so ultimately that harass did basically nothing, unfortunately for Zeus. More cannons being added, but I think these are also all going to get canceled. So that's a nice little win for him, and might even be able to pick off this pylon here while the Dragoon army is away. Yeah, I see when Nalra did this, he had a ton of cannons, but Kingdom only has like 3. So I'm not sure if this is going to work out the same way. Now, picking off Dragoons with yours while they're kind of separated at a good angle is pretty good. Quick shots of the players. It looks like Kingdom's got the unit advantage here, but we are at Zeus's base, so the rallies will help him. A couple more Dragoons and another Zealot coming out, but even now the Zealot advantage is in Kingdom's favor, so it looks like he's just pulling ahead even more with this units. Now, all his Zealots are down, so yeah, Zeus's Zealots will be able to get on top of Kingdom's goons. I'm actually doing a pretty good job now. This is what I was talking about a little bit, where Zealots, if they get in, definitely beat Dragoons pretty well. So those legs are helping quite a bit, but these cannons finishing up are definitely going to push him back. That last goon died there, and probes are transferring to the third right now, but that is not a fun place to transfer to at the moment with those Dragoons there. Luckily, there were some Zealots able to push those goons back, but a pylon going up over there, so I think Kingdom wants to start cannoning up Zeus's third. Now, Zeus is just all Zealots at the moment. If he can get a good surround, I mean, this fight just ends, but he does need something like that to happen. He can't just chase Dragoons back into cannons, or that will keep happening, and we'll just have Zealots die for free. No cannons actually started here yet. It looks like these probe actually got killed. I think Zeus's probes killed it. Something like that. They found the traitor in their midst and killed it off. A lot more cannons going up here, and still these Zealots just can't get a good engagement on the Dragoons. They're pushing them back, but not actually able to kill them. Now, so it is 3 base against 2 now, though. So if this goes on long enough, it will work out for Zeus. He'll just have more resources in the end. So Kingdom does either need to end the game or get an expansion himself. But I think it's going to be tough. Like, this is just a lot of Dragoons. Excuse me. Ooh, High Templar popping out. Maybe some Archons here. It's definitely likely that he's banking a lot of gas, making this many Zealots, whereas Kingdom is going full goon, really. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some Archons mixed in. Now this Dragoon army pressuring the third, but actually not a bad engagement. And here's the surround that I was talking about. This could be huge, actually. Some Zealots getting some of those Dragoons trapped. More cannons are being made here, but not a bad fight there for Zeus. Yeah, I guess this position makes it kind of better to go in for Zealots. Cannon here. I think he should make a few more cannons than like one, though. And actually the probes are just running away, getting killed off by these goons. It's pretty painful for Zeus to be losing that much economy here. And I think this third base has officially not worked out. A lot of investment for really not much of a payoff. Now, that said, I mean, he's just putting Zeus back, Kingdom's just putting Zeus back down to equal bases, so it's not like there's a huge economic advantage now. They're kind of just even, and Kingdom has invested a ton of minerals into cannons in the middle of the map, so I'm not calling this one yet. This game is still definitely going on. Oh man, these High Templar are getting caught by Dragoons. At least Storm first. That's so painful. A couple DTs are here to fight, but an Observer comes in. Can he storm the Observer? No, the Observers live long enough for the DTs to get killed off. Another Storm going down there. But, oh man, getting those High Templar caught was so painful. They did get their Storms off, but you're kind of hoping for more than what they got. The ideal situation is to storm in a fight where it matters that you're moving your Dragoons instead of shooting. Now, actually, this wasn't that bad for Zeus. That engagement there with the goons. For a little while, he was high ground attacking low ground Dragoons, and that is pretty good for him. Yeah, this is so much different than how Nalrod did it, though. I'm not sure if this is actually good. What? Are you for real? Is Kingdom taking that base now? Why? What? Take a base on your side of the map, dude. What the hell? This is so bad. This is not even good. I'm just saying, like, this is BM. Yeah, okay. Well, Kingdom deciding to BM Zeus by taking his third. And Zeus is just putting a Nexus over on the other side of his base. Yeah, I don't know. This is not the time for PMing. This is tiebreakers in an OSL round of 8. Like, just put your Nexus on your side of the map, please. Yeah, I would understand if those cannons he'd been building were like at that base, but they're not. They're in the middle of the map. They don't really help out. Now those two goons are going to find these probes, so that's kind of unfortunate there for Zeus. Fortunate for Kingdom to find them. Yeah, if Zeus had been able to save these probes, he's in a lot better situation. There's like 10 probes or something. But obviously not able to do that. More cannons being built there at the third. Still no real tech that I see from Kingdom, though. He's kind of just all in on these gateway units. Dragoons are really good, no doubt, so it's kind of okay. I don't know, though. Like, Reaver's just so good. Like, I guess not against Storm. Now that Storm is out, I wouldn't say you should go Reaver, but man, Reavers are good. Use some, like, Archons mixed in with this, though, or something? I don't know. Couple more probes getting caught there. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Zeus. Looks like he's going to be able to secure a third, though, and here's a drop over at Zeus's base. High Templar Storms. Oh my god, those Storms were so good. He killed damn near every probe at that base. They stacked up for his Templar. That was probably like 12 probes plus. That was... what a huge drop that was. 6 Storm from Zeus there. I thought that was like a dropship getting caught. But no, actually he's punishing the BM from Kingdom, which I kind of love. Every time BM gets punished, I'm always happy. Like when Terrans in StarCraft 2 start dropping mules on your army, and then you win the game. Oh my god, there's no better feeling. Just the best. So economically now, both players are pretty bruised here. But they do both have 3 Nexus. The mains are, I think, both mined out, though. A couple DTs. Oh, wow. And it comes to fruition. The lack of observers now is actually hurting Zeus. He needs to get an observer down here so he doesn't lose his entire army to 2 DTs. He's been spending all this time building it up to the point where he could actually fight back. But with no detection, it's not going to work out. He definitely needs to get one of those over here. Kind of funny. Kingdom has been picking off observers. I think he's picked off like 3 or 4 this game. And it's actually mattering. Now the observer is here. So Zeus is able to detect this. But immediately it just dies. And now he is back to being without detection. You can't have your observer run out in front like that. I was a little worried it might get killed. And this is looking pretty bad for Zeus. Getting pinned in at his third here. This is an okay place for Zealots to fight. There is a choke that the goons have to run through, but the goon count is just so much in Kingdom's favor. I don't think it's going to work out for Zeus fighting here, even with that choke. Man, there's a ton of cannons there. More cannons being added over at the third. Just been pretty well resaturated, but those probe losses definitely hurt. Even if just, you know, a lot of it is the transfer time from those other bases. Now, Zeus is actually... Sorry, Kingdom is running up here. But there's a lot of Zealots and a High Templar up here, so I don't think he's going to be able to get up that ramp. A couple Dragoons even getting surrounded. I don't know, closed off, pinched. Yeah, they got pinched. And we now have Zeus with the Storm advantage here. Storm is huge. Like, Storm on these goons or on the Zealots. Yeah, not a great Storm, actually. Can be pretty big. Decent Storm there on top of those goons. And now Zeus really can't fight into these cannons, though. That is not going to work out. He does pull back, but definitely took some losses there first. Has detection, and he's able to focus down those DTs. Even able to kill off the Observer of Kingdom, so hopefully now his Observer can be a little more safe. And I was thinking this game was over, but Zeus is kind of holding in here. And with his tech advantage, I think he actually has a pretty solid chance. More shots of like the 6k minerals and cannons. Quick little skirmish there. A couple Zealots lost on each side. And Kingdom is taking this bottom right base. Yeah. Oh, another storm drop. This one not nearly as effective though, I think. Did delay mining a little, but I don't think he even got any probes with that. Maybe a few. Looks like he is going to scout this bottom right base though with his shuttle, and that definitely matters. Knowing that he needs to harass this base, and yes, it is going to get scouted. Are there any units here? Can he drop a zealot? One zealot would be really impactful, but no, it doesn't look like he's got one. Obviously a DT would be even better there, but yeah. I don't think he has anything in that shuttle anymore. So what does Zeus need to do in this game? I do think he's still behind. High Templar gets picked off there for basically nothing. So he needs to leverage his storms. It's basically what we're at, since Kingdom doesn't really have any. The best way to do that is in a big fight. So pump goons and then take a big fight. He could also try to just delay the game. Wow, there's actually no probes mining at the natural. That's a little surprising. There's still minerals left there. They should have left a couple at least. So Kingdom really is on like one base economy right now. Zeus probably the same though. I imagine his naturals also mined out by now. Basically, Zeus needs to expand. If he's a base behind, it's not going to go well for him. Oh, his shuttle gets caught, but two goons pop out. The shuttle does die, but his two goons are definitely going to be able to kill the Dragoon that's defending there. Now, I don't think they will just fight this cannon head-on, but with range, they're going to be able to do a pretty good job of harassing the probes. It looks like some zealots are coming back here to kill them off, though, so I don't think this is going to amount to very much, especially if he just attacks the Nexus itself. A couple zealots walk up. Now, I mean, you could micro these two Dragoons and kill all those zealots. It's definitely possible, but is it worth it? I don't know. That's a lot of micro. It's a lot of actions. And really, it's probably too much. I don't think it's going to be worth it. You're probably better off just getting another shuttle over there. Now, Zeus is charging across this ramp. Look at all these freaking cannons, though. Definitely has to either fight or run away immediately. He's going to fight them. And doing a pretty good job of pushing through them. Now, storms are ready here for Kingdom, but he was not going to have too many. A good storm there from Zeus kills off a couple Dragoons. And it looks like Zeus is actually pushing into this location, but a good storm from Kingdom. Hits like 5 Dragoons there. Really well placed by him. Ugh. Bird distracted me, sorry. Couple Archons morphing now. And it looks like Zeus is actually going to be able to clear out this position. Now, he just needs to get a 4th if he's going to keep playing in this game. Oh, High Templar run. No. Picked off. But a lot of those cannons are killed off. Both Archons die simultaneously. And yeah, Zeus's army is going to win this out. I think he's going to go over to that 4th of Kingdom and maybe do enough damage there to even this up. Be even better if he could get a base. Cool Italian jacket there. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, these units are definitely going to be enough, I think, to put some serious damage on this base. There's a couple zealots over here and 1 cannon, but it's definitely enough units to kill that off. So looks like this base is going to maybe even go down for Kingdom. His probes are fighting. He's trying to get up this ramp with his own army, but a lot of damage is going to be done before his army gets there. Now, actually, the probes are doing a pretty decent job of getting in the way of all the other units, and they are attacking, so this is going to get cleaned up, actually, without a ton of damage dealt. So Zeus kind of in a bad position still. A couple Dragoons harassing at the 3rd, but he needs to get an actual blow dealt on Kingdom. Just these little jabs aren't going to cut it, you know. Actually, these Dragoons aren't even going to get anything because they were just attacking the Nexus. So, yeah, it's just not working out for him. He's putting himself into these positions where he could get damage, he could come back into this game, but it's just not quite happening. And that Storm even picking off a High Templar of his own. And now Kingdom has the Storm advantage, too. This game is looking real bad for Zeus. For a second there, I thought he'd come back, but I'm thinking now that he is probably just dead. He's down to a 1 base economy versus 2 for a long time, so Kingdom is just going to outproduce him. And look at all this stuff Kingdom has. Storm's going down on each player's armies, but I don't think it matters anymore. It looks like Kingdom is just going to push right through this. Zeus knows he's in trouble. So what's the plan here? More cannons from Kingdom. I honestly don't even like this. I think that the cannons are bad. Like, Narod did it because he's, like, good. But where these cannons are positioned, they just don't really make a lot of sense. Like, 3 cannons don't actually do that much. They're very squishy. They have good damage. That's true. But if you ever catch them without units, you can kill them off really easily. Anyway, Zeus throws out the GG there. It was pretty clearly over for a little while. Unfortunately for him, I think he's 0-2 in the tiebreakers now, which is kind of painful. And Kingdom is 2-0, so I think we're going to be seeing more Kingdom. Maybe he'll make a second Nexus. Find out then if you want. See ya.